Hey everybody, John Granado here along with Lance Zerline. You can hear us mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet so you get all of our content here at SportsMap HOU. Climbing Tal's Hill took a deep dive into Christian Javier this week with details about his velocity, his release point, which shows his spin rate is down. Javier has given up 4 runs in 2 of his last 3 games. His walks have jumped up. His strikeouts are down. What is going on? Why are Murphy and Miller? What's going on? Lance, he's just not the same guy.
I don't know what's going on, but it's scary. Anytime you start dealing with reduced spin rate and you start dealing with lower velocity, that's a big concern because the first thing you're going to start looking at is injury. And it's been one of these years. It's been a funky year already for the Astros in terms of injury. And Javier never had a 2-game run like this. You know, he never had 3 games where he looked bad in 2 or 3. Like, it just didn't happen last year. He had been really good this year. Well, he had been good this year. I think the record looked better maybe than the actual performance had been, and he wasn't still striking out per 9 the same like he had last year. But now those numbers have tailed drastically. And I do think that's something that's a concern. And I know a lot of times that's the way teams look for injuries with pitchers is they look at the velo numbers because they get them right away. They can get them in game. So they'll look at velocity, maybe sometimes spin rate for breaking pitches as well. I think these are concerning numbers that have come out on Christian Javier.
Yeah, and you got the Rangers coming up. Listen, you need Christian. Listen, you're down to 3 guys right now, basically, for your rotation in the postseason. Right now, it is. Framber looks great, and he's got to continue to be Framber. But you got to get Javier back. You need him to perform big time. And then Hunter Brown, you're dependent on a rookie. With all of the injuries and how bad the bullpen has been, it is crucial that these guys figure Christian Javier out.
Yeah, you have to have 2+ pitchers. There's just no way around it. You need a plus, which is Framber, a plus, which is Javier. They have to have that. And if they don't have that, if Javier has something wrong, boy, it is better to discover it now and deal with it now. The Astros have had their issues with Verlander and McCullers, waiting out injuries, and then they end up having to deal with it, and it goes in the next season. If there's something that Christian Javier needs right now from an injury standpoint, it's best that they take care of it with rest or whatever, especially, assuming he is injured and would make it back this year. It's best to take your lumps right now and get him where he needs to be, as opposed to just trying to see how it's going to do. Man, take him out of the rotation and just deal with it if you need to. But I may be jumping the gun a little bit, but those numbers that I saw from the article are alarming.
Hey, how big is this series against the Rangers? You're going to see you got Javier and Framber going to pitch in the last 2 games of that series. Framber first and then Javier in the last game. This is a pretty big series, even though it is the end of June.
You want to keep it close. You got to keep it within striking distance. I think it's a big deal. I think if you can win the series, that's a big deal. The Rangers have cooled down a little bit recently, and so you got to just keep those numbers manageable because once Urquidy gets back, if Javier's not hurt or Urquidy gets back, Jordan gets back, we're going to see a different Astros team. I think that eventually the Astros may need to make a move for the bullpen. Again, they've made some moves recently, but it's not really anything that ripples the water. They may need to do something more aggressive with the way that Montero's pitched. Hey, you're going to owe him money whether you're pitching him or not. It's better for him not to hurt you right now with the way he's pitching. So they may want to look at bullpen help because they've been able to live off of starters going to the bullpen in the playoffs or even late in the season. That's not going to be a luxury they have this year.
No, they need an IL stint. They need an IL stint for Montero to get himself right. Okay, I'm pinky, a hamstring. Give me something, Montero.